Hello everyone, I'm Valeria from the Unger Academy team, and today I'm in the company of one of our best students, Alessandro, who earned $11,700 in just 6 months. Obviously, he applied the method he learned at the Unger Academy. So hello Alessandro, welcome.
Hello Valeria, thank you for the invite.
Tell us a bit about yourself. What do you do for a living? What is your occupation?
I am a bank director. Let's say that I've been dealing with finance for some 20 years. This is a world I've always seen more from the point of view, let's say, of the client, rather than for self-fruition.
Okay, so you are fascinated by the world of finance. You already had a solid foundation for trading for sure. And I also know that you have become a dad.
Yes, recently, my fourth child.
Wow, that's an achievement. Listen, what problems did you encounter before joining our program?
I wasn't profitable, that's for sure. Let's say that I started with discretionary trading a few years ago. That wasn't really for me. This is also because I'm highly emotional, and following the markets that way does not lead to positive results, at least in my case.
Okay, so you started with discretionary trading a few years ago and you've tried it for a bit.
Absolutely, yes.
And you didn't find that to be good for you, right?
Right, that has been the most expensive lesson I've paid for, let's put it that way.
Why did you choose to join our training program instead of other ones around?
Well, from this point of view, let's say that I've chosen Andrea because I was strongly motivated. I love the world of trading and absolutely needed to learn from the best, or at least from whom I think is the best. To quote Tony Robbins, try to imitate the best. So I tried to start gathering information on who to choose as my mentor, and I found Andrea through ads and generally on the internet, of course. I slowly started following his videos, and then I started reading his book on position sizing. From there, I told myself, this is someone who really knows what he's talking about. It's better to follow him further. For sure, this is how I started. I've appreciated his book and then a series of different things.
All right, is there anything within our program that helped you more than others? Why was it so effective?
For sure, how the lessons are taught, the fact that there is practice beyond just the theory. You can do trials, back tests. It's not just words. Whatever I was doing or studying, I could apply it straight away. This is a big help for sure. Same with the old forum and the Facebook page we use now. The coaching calls where you can bother Nebbiolo on Thanos directly.
The coaches.
Another thing that I've tried doing recently is to gather with a few students, even if they're not part of the academy. I must say this helped me a lot. I mean, I'm a part of a group of students, some from the Unger Academy, some from the different backgrounds, and this was a huge help. It accelerated the learning process. Getting involved and sharing information is the best way.
Exactly. Consider that when people ask, why has Andrea funded the academy if he's a trader? He could have just stayed a trader. He always stresses the importance of sharing opinions with other traders, getting new insights, developing new ideas, and this is what we encourage. The very fact of finding a travel companion, let's say.
Absolutely. This is not an individualistic job, in my opinion. You need the support of others, both psychological and regarding strategies, their point of view, because you can see things one way, others in another way, and these points of view can make you work well.
Okay, after applying what you've learned from the program, what results have you achieved?
Since the beginning of this year, I'm on $11,700. My account is in dollars and I prefer to keep it in dollars. Also because I trade almost exclusively in dollars, apart from some micro DAX, very little in euros. But for the rest, I trade in dollars, so I want to keep it in dollars. This happened in 6 months, from January to a few days ago. A week ago, let's say. This is quite recent.
Well, great results.
Let's say it went well. There were moments in which the equity was slightly above this level, slightly below, but I'm definitely satisfied.
Great. What's important is that you are happy, that your results are more or less aligned with what you had in mind.
Well, I must say that Titan got it right. This time, that Titan was right. I work with a static portfolio, so I'm a bit out of the ordinary compared to how Titan is usually used. So I have a static portfolio, and the static portfolio, according to Titan, would have achieved 130 per year with a maximum drawdown of 20%. At this moment, it's almost perfectly aligned both from the point of view of the net profit and the drawdown, which is slightly under. We are on 19 from the beginning of the year. That's the worst I've seen.
Okay, how has your life changed since reaching this result? Now, I mean, it's quite recent.
Only a little change so far. But I approached trading because I want to change my life totally. I'm an employee. I would like to do something different. I would like to enjoy my time more. And I must say that systematic trading allows me to do so because I don't have to be at the computer all the time. In the beginning, it was hard because what I feel like advising people from the beginning is if you don't have the will to study, then stay away from the Unger Academy. Because one thing is for sure, there's a lot of studying to do. The results will come. I discuss and compare myself with other traders. There are some that are profitable, so the results will come, but they come because there is a hard work behind it. Clearly, at the beginning of the work is a bit harder because there is a lot to learn. Later, when the infrastructure is up and running, the time needed for trading decreases. At least this is my experience.
Everyone has his own experience, but the very aim of the program is to provide the same tools to all its students. Then, of course, it also depends on the individual's will to study and how many hours you can dedicate. But let's say replicability is one of its strengths because, like you said, or the other students interviewed, or the two who won, Stefano and Petra, who won the trading championship with the same method, all this shows that the method is replicable. Then you need commitment that needs to come from you.
For sure.
We help you, there are the coaches that help you when you need it, but that's absolutely correct. Commitment is necessary. We always say that. Where do you think you would be if you hadn't decided to join our program?
I'm incredibly stubborn. My goal is not to live just on trading, but to get at least the 70-80% of my income from it. So if the Unger method hadn't worked, I would have kept looking until I found something that could work for me.
A method in line with you.
Yes, I'm telling you, I keep researching even though I found Andrea and his method works. But from my point of view, you have to keep researching. I haven't just stopped. I keep going, even if the path done with you has been undoubtedly very, very useful. I will keep going, and I hope in some new courses, considering I've reached the end of your catalog. Well, I keep torturing Placi.
Well, we've got some news coming.
Uh, a little bit about crypto. We have discussed it with him, and I've offered myself as a guinea pig. I'd be happy.
Well, you will know soon. They are perfecting this very program because now there are more data to elaborate and to run tests on. Because at the end of the day, this is the main part of the Unger method. So we are working on it. It is coming soon. Lastly, I wanted to ask you, what would you tell to anyone watching this interview who is unsure of joining the program?
I would advise to join in small steps. Start getting to know us, all the academy. Look, I must say, finding Andrea's videos or books or other material is definitely not difficult. But mostly, if you take this learning path, you cannot be afraid of the cost at the beginning because every activity involves costs. For me, they've been repaid in spades, unless you do it as a hobby, but if you want to do it seriously, you need to invest. Otherwise, you cannot learn. You could find someone who will lead you to only lose money, so don't be discouraged by the cost. Anyway, they're aligned with what's on the market. They aren't higher. I suggest you attend all Unger Academy's courses. We are now talking about 1 year target, which is 50 or more percent of the courses available. But I've also attended Placi's course on volatility
Cracking volatility.
and the one on options from Placi.
Iron Shark.
For me, they're complementary. I would do them if not for other reasons, for personal knowledge and to avoid eating money. I mean, if you want to do this job, it's better to invest your money in a course and build up your own knowledge. Otherwise, you just waste them on the market.
Yes, for sure, education is of core importance before jumping into something. Absolutely. Okay, great. This is the end of our interview, and I thank you very much for this chat. If you'd like to add anything,
I want to thank the Unger Academy for giving me this opportunity. I remember one of Andrea's videos that I watched at the beginning about choosing between the blue pill and the red one. This opened up the world of systematic trading to me, so I only have good words to describe it.
thank you. I'm sure we will meet again soon for our next interview.
I hope so, because it will be even more interesting.
Exactly. See you in the next step of the Trading Hero. You've already achieved the first one. Congratulations for reaching this beautiful goal in 6 months. And I wish you a quick advancement to your next successes, good results, and the goals you had in mind for yourself. For now, thank you very much for being here, for dedicating your time to us today, and see you next time. See you.
See you next time.